This video we're going to do a bunch of updates to our knife, most notably stopping us from being able to stab someone on the other side of the room. We're also going to update a sound for it. We're going to give our guards some sounds, some firing sounds, some death sounds. Our medkits are only going to get picked up if we have less than 100 health, and we'll get a sound for that. Our ammo and our guns will all have collectible sounds. We're going to fix those blind guards on level 2, and I think we'll wrap it up with some ceilings and working on our players' ammo and health when he comes back to life. And the first thing I want to do is open up our player script, and we're going to set up our player to make sure that our knife only has a limited range. At the moment, you can stab people from the other side of the room. So we just want to add in a new variable up the top here. We're going to call it var knife range, and we're going to make it equal to 3. If we now come down to our raycast logic, which at the moment is around lines 55, 56, if you've been copying exactly what we've been doing, and we're just going to replace it with a new chunk of code that I'll then talk you through. So let's get our replace on. All right, so it's similar, but we've added a little bit more logic. So if our ray is colliding, so if the direction we're facing is colliding with a particular enemy, we want to find out what we're colliding with and give that the variable collider. So what this is saying here is that if our ray is colliding, get whatever that we're touching, and let's call that from now on collider. We then create another variable called distance to collider. So how far away is it? And we're going to measure that based on our global position, that of the player, and then our distance to that collider's global position. So this is where our player is, and this here is now saying how far is it to the collider that we grabbed here, its global position. Then we're going to check and see what our current weapon is. If it is knife and the distance to the collider is larger than the knife range, which we set up here of 3, right? So if the distance to collider is more than 3 meters, whatever the 3 stands for, then return. We don't want to do anything because we can't reach the dude. You can swing your knife, but nothing's going to happen. Otherwise, if that collider, the thing we're hitting, has the method die, run that method. So we are still going with a 1 stab death. I guess our dude, what's his name? BJ Bukowski, whatever his name is incredibly accurate with his stabby stabs. All right, so that there should have our knife working. Let's just save that and give it a run. I'll give level 2 a run because that's just a bit more obvious, because the dudes can't move, which is another problem we need to deal with. So if we come around here, all right, there we go. There's a dude. Now, we shouldn't be able to stab him from back here anymore, but if we come up close, stabby stabs, he dies. Excellent. All right, that is step 1. We have fixed the problem with being able to stab people on the other side of the room without go-go gadget arms. So what I want to do now is maybe give our knife a sound that is not a gun sound. So let's actually grab a bunch of assets. I'm going to bring over a whole bunch of different assets, which I will show you what they are. But they're all sound files. They're in itch, and they will be in the zip file on GitHub. But what we've grabbed is we've grabbed a new sound called All Right, which is when we pick up our minigun. I've also brought over a door image because we're going to have some doors, a sound for that door, an enemy pain sound file. What else did I grab? A health sound file, and a knife sound file, and a pickup one, and a pickup sound file. So we've got a sound file there for when we pick things up. We've got a sound file for when we pick up our health kits, and some other things. So let's work on the knife first, though, of course. So what we want to do is find our knife sound logic, which is here. So match global.current weapon, all of this gear here. So what we're going to do, we're basically just going to copy this one here for the gun. But instead of gun, we're going to change it to knife. And then the sound we want to play isn't gun.ogg. I think it was knife.wav. Just double check that that's correct. Knife.wav. It's got a capital K, so let's change that. All right, that's our knife. So let's just check and see how that goes to make sure we have some success. So let's again run level 2. All right, so there we go. I can hear it. I don't know if you can. Let me just move the mic over. Hopefully that was audible. And we turn around and see our dude. Not doing much damage back here. Not until we get up nice and close. All right, that's our knife sound sorted. I think the next thing we should do is our enemy death sound, because at the moment we stab them, they die, but it's all rather quiet. So let's grab our guard script and let's have a look at what we've got going on for our sound. So in our dive function, we want to have a look to change it up a bit so that we play a sound first. So let's let's grab our guard scene. There he is. So he's going to need an audio stream player, I guess. Here's our audio stream player for our dude. The file we want to put in there was enemy pain. There it is. Drag that over into our stream. Enemy pain. Excellent. So what's next? We want to make sure that that audio stream player actually plays. So let's put it in here. Oops, what just happened? Put it in here. So I'm just going to drag over my audio stream player, then go dot play, because it's only got the one file. We don't need to be more specific than that. Let's test that out. So let's again go to level 2, run that scene. So we can still stabby stabs. Actually, I'm going to move the mic so we can hear if our guard sounds like he's dying. Good enough for me. All right. That is our guard now having a nice sound when we stabby stab him. I think we want to now sort out a sound for when he does the shooting. I think that would be more exciting. So let's give our guard, back to the guard scene, let's give him another audio stream player. Okay, don't want it to be a child of that one. There we go. So audio stream player 2. For this one, we're going to put in our gun shooting sound, gun.ogg. So it's the same sound file that we're using for the player. And then to make that one play, we're going to do it just here. Drag our audio stream player over, .play. And that should now mean when he shoots at us, we hear him shooting at us. So because the level 2's got a bug we haven't fixed yet, we will get to it. Let's run this one in level 1 to make sure it sounds like they are shooting at us. Where is our world? Run this one. Once they get close enough, they should start shooting. There you go. But I can still kill them with one stab. All right. So some other things that are happening here that we want to sort out is pickup sounds. So we've got all these little items we can pick up, but we don't hear anything to acknowledge that it's happened. Also, our health kit's there. Even though we've currently got 100 health, we can walk over that and use it even though nothing happens. So that's another thing we want to change. Why don't we do that now? So let's close that. Medkit.gd. All right, so for our medkit.gd, what we're going to be thinking about in this one is a little bit of logic to make sure that it only gets picked up if our player is less than full health, and also we play a sound when we do pick it up. So those are the two things I want to make happen. So what we'll probably need to do is do a little bit of editing around here. I think, let me get my Medkit. All right, there it is. So a little bit of editing around here. What I think we'll do first is add in that audio stream player, because we're going to need to be able to play a sound. The sound we're going to play is the health.wav. So we'll drag our health.wav into our stream section. All right, so now let's get rid of this. We can just .play our health thing when we pick up our body, but I'm going to add in another bit of logic here, and global.player health is less than 100. Play the file, up their health. We actually don't need to keep. I've got a lot of print statements in here just to make it easy for me, but we don't need to leave them in there. I have them just to double check that what I'm doing is working. All right, save that. So now, in theory, when we walk over our med kit, It won't disappear if we have 100 health already. But if we have less than 100 health, it will disappear and it will play a sound. So let's give that a test. All right, so we got 50. Oh, I didn't hear any sound. Okay. No sound. I need to fix this. If body is in group player and global player health is less than 100, audio stream player play. I think there's not a delay. So I think the issue I have here is that it's taking too long. So what we need to do is actually, let's split this queue free out of here. So we'll go to there. And then what I think, I'll just quickly set deferred. All right, monitoring false. And then what I'll do is we're going to signal our audio stream player through to be on finished, like that. And then in here is where we will queue it free. All right. Excellent. Now, one thing I should point out here is I've recently upgraded to Godot 4.3, and you can see it's slightly different in the logic here. So 4.2, that is what we would be saying. 4.3, however, we've got this little void here. I'm not going to go into that in this particular version. I think we should be able to still run it without that because there's going to be a little bit of leeway. But let's just have a check and see if that works now. So first thing, I need to lose some health. There we go. All right, I've lost some health. So now when we walk over this dude, we should get our sound play. There we go. And it increases our health. And we should be able to pick this one up as well. All right, now it's full health. This one should not get collected. All good. Still there. There it is. We didn't get the sound effect or anything. All right, there is our health medkit stuff sorted. What do we got now? I want to pick up sound for our ammo next. So let's find our ammo scene. And we're going to do very similar stuff to what we just did for our medkit scene, essentially. So we want to add an audio stream player to it. There's our audio stream player. We want to find our pickup sound file that we dragged across. There it is there, pickup. Oops, got the wrong menu. Inspector. All right, now pickup into our stream. Excellent. Now, very similar. We're going to need to do some connections and all that sort of biz. So what I want to do down here is let's again get this signaled through for when it finishes. Connect. All right, so there's our, just to simplify for you guys, let's keep that out of there at the moment. We are again going to move our queue free down to this particular part here. Up here is where we're going to want to run some logic. And we don't want to, so what I'm doing here is making sure that we don't gather the ammo if it's full. All right, so ammo could have a max of 100. If it's less than 100, gather. Let's get rid of our print statement again to clean this up. And then what I also want to do in here is get our audio stream player to play. All right, and is there anything else? I think that's probably enough. Let's just give that a test and make sure that works. So we should be able to pick up ammo now and hear our sound. Yep. This is a violent game. All right, pick up our medkit, our ammo. Excellent, ammo, excellent. All right, we're getting there. It's all working. That's our ammo pickup sound sorted. Gun pickup sounds. That's what we need to do, our gun pickup sounds. So let's grab our machine gun code and let's find hang on, minigun's the first scene I've got up here. So let's grab our minigun first. And we're gonna do very much the same thing. You've probably worked all this out by now, I assume. So our minigun, let's grab another audio stream player. Oops, missed the button. It's our audio stream player. We're going to want to signal it through on finished again. We're going to move our cue free from there to there. Oops. Just like that. And what are we going to do? We're going to play our audio stream player in here. Just like that. Save that. So that was our minigun. Oh, hang on. No, I put the pickup sound. We don't want the pickup sound. I got a special sound for the minigun. All right. So this is the sound I want just for the minigun. The others will be the pickups. Oh, where is it? The others will be the pickup sound, but for the minigun, I've got this all right sound. So let's go and have a look at what that is like, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a minigun. Go away. Let me grab another one so you can actually hear it this time. All right. Okay. And some health. There's our minigun sound. Let's have a look at our next one. We got our machine gun next. So we're going to do it the same way, right? So let's grab a new audio stream player for our machine gun. Let's use the pickup sound for that one, pickup.wav. There it is. Let's signal it through on finish to make sure that we actually get the sound to finish playing. Otherwise, it'll cue free before we actually play the sound, and that would be sad for everyone. And we want to add in our audio stream player here, .play. All right, that should work for our machine guns. Let's run that now. Let me kill the dudes first. 1, 2. All right, machine gun should now give us that pickup sound. Excellent. Let's grab some health. And a minigun. I think I missed the health. No. There we go. All right. What have we got left? Minigun, ammo. All right. I think that's all the pickup sounds then. We might be ready for our level 2 problem. So if you recall, let's just go back and run level 2 just to refresh our memories. If you recall, on level 2, for some reason, well, I know the reason now, for some reason, our dudes have a lot of trouble moving and firing. And the reason is they're not updating the location of the player. So what we can do here is let's grab our player script. And what we want to do is add just a couple of little things in. So is it our player script, our guard script actually? Sorry, in our guard script, let's start there. So something that we do in our guard script is we add it to a group enemy. And what we need to do is also get our guard to be looking for the player. So at the moment, this is what we've used to identify the player for our guard to move towards them. Okay, so this works perfectly in level 1. We've got create an onReady variable for player, and it's going to be that character body 3D in our scene tree, and we want to grab the first node in group player. That's all right, but it's not what we're going to need to do going forward because it gets a bit overcomplicated. So what I'm going to actually do is get rid of that line there, and we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to add in this one here in our physics process. So what this line here is doing, sorry, I need to replace so we've removed that longer variable. We're replacing it with this one. So what we want to do is we want to create an onReady variable for the player, and all it is, it's equal to our global.player. All right. And then in our physics process, which this isn't an ideal solution, hopefully someone can give me a better one, we're reminding our guard to set the player to that global.player. Now, at the moment, our global.player is non-existent, I think. Yeah, so we need to add that in. So we're going to go var player equals null. Just null for now. So in our global script, player equals null. In our guard script, we've changed our onReady variable from that big long one. What did I just do? Change. Guard script. Yeah. Changed our onReady variable from the big long one to this shorter one. So now all we're doing is just referencing our player in the global script. Now in our player script, I know there's little bits of changes everywhere, isn't there? In our player script, what we want to do is basically update the game with the player all the time. So we're saying in our ready function, so when our player first is instanced in the game, we want to set that global.player to self. Hopefully that makes sense. So I think that's right. Let's go and have a look on level dos and see what we get. See if the dudes come at me now. If they don't, I'll then have a little bit of a cry and come back to you shortly. Where is he? Oh, well, he's moved. Well, there you go. They're definitely working. They almost freaking killed me. Okay. That is all the little bugs and issues that people had that I could see. Let's jump back to our 3D view. Level 2, we can do it here. Let's add in a ceiling. So the easiest way to do that, let's just duplicate our floor. All right, call it ceiling. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to change one of the rotations, maybe this one, and then lift it. So we've got to flip it. All right, I'm not sure if I think that might need to, that might have been the wrong one. This one? All right, that might be it. Let me just jump into level 2 and have a look if that's worked. Yeah, there we go. So we've got ourselves a roof now as well. The lighting obviously doesn't look right, but we can get to having little sconces and stuff later on. There's our ceiling. That was, how easy was that? We just duplicate our floor and then flip the Z rotation by 180 and just drag. Thing before I forget, I also wanted to update our logic when the player dies so that we actually have health when we come back to life, because I overlooked that before. So our global dot player health, we want that to equal 100. When we are brought back to life, we want our global dot current weapon. See, this is why I normally copy and paste. Current weapon to equal our gun, and we will get our global ammo to equal 10, I think. So we add those in just before we start the world again. Let's go and run the game. And what do I want to do? I want to die. Yep, that all worked well. At the moment, I just had the knife as the starting weapon because I was testing it, but you might want to change that back to gun, and our last weapon would have been the knife. Actually, I'll put it to gun for now, seeing as that is what we're starting with. And where's our ammo? I'm blind. Oh, top. Save that. Run. Cool. All right, that all looks lovely. Let's wrap it up.